Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a preview of Don't Starve, the upcoming board game adaptation of the popular survival video game. And no disclaimer for our crowdfunding coverage, we just want to help you make an informed decision. We don't accept any money from the publishers. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month so you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So the regular video game Don't Starve is mainly just a randomized survival game, kind of a roguelite. So the regular video game of Don't Starve is a randomized roguelike survival game, but in the board game you're playing through scenarios, so there's more of a defined win condition, and it's for 1 to 4 players, each controlling a character. In this case, I'm using the starting character from the video game, which I have played a bit, but I'm not super familiar with it. This is Wilson. I think he's like an amateur scientist. And they only sent me one scenario in the demo, so you're going to see a little piece of the game. Also, a big part of the game is supposed to be unlocking things with each play, like getting new blueprints and other things, and none of that is available in the demo. So keep in mind as you watch this that things could change, rules could change. This is just a peek into what the game might look like. Also keep in mind that so far I've played it and lost horribly every time on the easiest difficulty. This is from the people that made the Frostpunk board game adaptation, which was also famously hard as heck. So yeah, so far this one looks like it'll be really tough, but I am doing the Pig Feast. A circle of totems stands tall and burns bright to fend off the darkness that governs the night. Within all the pig folk shall shortly convene to guffaw and gorge upon morsels obscene. So what I need to do as an action on my turn is to spend food and or resources listed on scenario card 3, the bill of fare, to place scenario markers on their matching empty spaces. So here it is. There's 9 goods that could be found. Looks like some kind of meat, seeds, bat wings, like a radish, a mole baby, a pomegranate, whatever the heck that is, some frog legs, and honey maybe. And in the end of the round step, when I have this little book symbol, it says if the number of completed lines is fewer or equal to the number of players, so 1 in this case, I am going to move the marker on by the porcine degree 1 space towards that symbol. Otherwise, if I've gotten, in this case, I have 1 character, so I need to have 2 lines completed. So like, boom, boom, or boom, boom, or whatever. If I have 2 of the lines completed, I'm going to gain 3 hunger, gain 3 sanity from, I guess, partaking in the feast, and then go to another card. So the scenarios do seem to have some kind of splitting content. Because in this one, if time runs out too much and I go all the way to this little spot, then I'm going to go to different scenario cards. So based on whether I can collect enough of those items to complete 2 of the lines on that little bill of fare, or not, the scenario will have a different ending. Of course, I don't know why I'm telling you any of that, because so far I haven't even survived long enough to get to either of those branching points, but we'll see how things go. So the game is set up with a bunch of these map tiles. These are randomized. The scenario tells you how difficult it is. It's supposed to be the easiest. And how many you use of each type. So here, 3 forest and 3 grassland, 2 mountainous and 2 whatever the heck that is, gnarly, horrible place. Just for your information, these 2 have been much more dangerous. The grassland has been the easiest and the woods the kind of medium difficulty one. And this is the starting configuration of them. And the main thing I'll be doing in the game is moving to these different map tiles, flipping them over, and then placing randomized cards from these decks for each type. I'll get immediate resources by doing that, but then also, here's to show you like kind of a middle one, I'll also have actions for gathering more resources become available to me, but also monsters that can attack me and that I can fight and defeat, guarding those areas. So that's how they kind of represent discovering the different little specific places in your region. Then at the end of each round, I'm going to have to survive, this is after taking 6 actions, I'm going to have to survive both the current need tile, which for this first one, which is a daytime round, they have day and nighttime side, and also they have easier and harder tiles. That's the main thing, the difficulty level changes. So look, if I was playing on a harder tile, I'd have one like this, which is clearly much worse, -1 sanity and 4 hunger instead of 3. In the winter, normal difficulty, I've got all easy tiles, but 3 of them, are night. And this little lightning bolt determines when the weather gets worse, because I'm also going to have to deal with a weather card every round. This round we have a blizzard, great. So I'm going to be dealing with 2 snow, and the lightning bolt symbol shows whether I have 2 or 4. So because we're to the left of the lightning bolt in this first need tile, I'm going to have 2. So you'll slowly starve to death, go crazy. If you don't have light, you'll get attacked by Charlie, this monster of the night. That's straight out of the video game. And you'll also die from exposure to the elements. And in the demo, they're giving you a single meat effigy, which means when you die once, you will resurrect. But that's it. And there's no way in the demo to get other ones, so good luck to us. Then to show you your character stuff, so you've each got starting values in health, in hunger, and in sanity. These will all be getting lowered down, of course. And they have different effects as you lose health. That doesn't really matter. Like if you go down to 0, you die, but nothing else happens. With hunger, the less hunger you have, the fewer of these focus tokens you get that let you reroll dice. So it's good to stay full, hungry, not hungry, sated. And as your horror decreases, you're going to eventually get these little shadow monsters spawning and attacking you at the end of each round that are like just creations of your own mind, but they can still physically hurt you. Each character has their own little starting thing. There are 4 characters from the video game in the set they sent me, and they have their own special cards, sometimes their own special items. In Wilson's case, he likes to do science, so as a free action, he can transmute 2 resources into another one, which gives him a free sanity gain. And then he also slowly builds a beard, which is going to help protect me from the cold, but unfortunately, that will not happen the first round, so the blizzard is still going to hurt. And each character has 10 spots in their backpack for holding goods. And a big thing, this is a crafting game, just like the video game, so as you get those goods, you can look in the crafting book and construct weapons and armor and items for withstanding the elements and such. And when you spend the resources, you just take the card out. They have enough in here for 4 characters. And your max hand size is 8 cards, although I have not gotten that high. And when you use cards, you have a chance of breaking them with this dice system. Also, when you fight monsters, it's dice-based combat. And the one last thing to show you, then we can get started, is that you do have like your main base where the portal is located on the tile I start on. At first, I think in the full game this will be empty, but they've given us several unlocked ones to kind of play with. And to show you how that would work, at the end of each session, you're supposed to be able to spend some resources you had left over to cross out some spaces. And when they're all crossed out, you unlock the thing to use in future games. But here I've chosen a tent that can protect me from the elements somewhat. I've chosen this little thing that lets me repair my items. And this one, this fire, that gives me some free fire if I feed it some wood. And can also potentially help me withstand the freezing cold. A lot of these are going to use essence. So like each time I want to use a tent, it's going to use 3 essence. If I want to repair an item, it's going to use 2 essence. You start out with 6, but to get it back, you have to defeat your own spirit monsters, those things that come when you're going insane, and then turn in their little like nightmare souls for more essence. All right, but let's get into the actual game and how a round runs, and I think things will make sense, and you'll watch Mike die horribly, probably. So the first step of a round would normally be the preparation phase, but he skipped that in the first turn, so we go straight into the action phase. And you get 6 action turns, and if you're playing cooperatively, you can go in whatever order you want, but once everyone is activated, then you flip down to the 5, and you all go again, then you flip down to the 4. Now, with just one character, I find this a little bit annoying to use. So I just took 6 of the extra cubes, and as I take my turns, I'm just going to remove them. A lot simpler for true solo, but again, you have the actual action tracker for higher player count games. And your turn is super simple. You can move optionally first, and then you take a single action, and you do that 6 times. What are your actions? You can explore to place one of those location cards I talked about and potentially get attacked by a monster there. You can take an interact action on your location. So like once I found something here, I could, I don't know, dig in the ground. You know, a lot of those would be tool-based, or like cut down a tree to get resources. I can fight a monster if it's on my space, if I have a weapon, and I can trade with other characters. Now, you can freely craft and cook and all this stuff, so all the things that are kind of related to the crafting minigames are totally free. You can do those with no actions whatsoever. It's really just putting down those map tiles, interacting with them, and killing the monsters that are there. And also anything that has this symbol, the little kind of full, whatever that is, canteen or whatever, that costs an action. So to fulfill the demands and turn in some of the food for the feast, that's going to cost me actions. And also if I want to go back to the portal tile and repair an item, that would cost me actions. But all right, yeah, let's head on out and try to get some resources. So we flip the first thing over, and it is a forest. And if I take the Explore action, which I want to do, I'm going to draw either the topmost card of the forest deck or Unseen, the bottommost card. Now, in this case, the topmost card has sticks, which is a pretty basic resource I'll need. I could use it to fire up the fire later when it gets dark. So sure, let's see what the bushy clearing looks like. And in this demo copy, there are, I think, 3 cards of each name. So even if you have played the game a ton and know what the bushy clearings tend to be, it's not going to be the exact same thing every time. And we got lucky. So on almost every tile, you'll have an enemy. In this case, it's one of the little pig dudes. And if the background of their little fighting stat up here is red, they will immediately attack you. It's called hostility. Now, you don't have to roll all of their dice, like in this case, 5 for hostility when you explore a tile for the first time. You just roll a single die and resolve whatever they do based on that. But yeah, here this guy is totally neutral. Unless I mess with him, he won't mess with me. And let's not forget that I got the twigs from exploring the place. And yeah, with no hostility, that's actually the end of my first of 6 actions. Now let's look at what we can do here. So all the stuff down here are the interactable actions, and you get a cube here. That's where it starts. And as you take interacts, you're going to lower it down. And once it's down here, it's kind of like that tile or that card is exhausted. You can take another explore action to replace it, so you don't have to like move to another area if you don't want to. And then there are some effects that'll move it up here where you can get more stuff again. But yes, here I could just get loose twigs as an action on my turn. Or if I had a shovel, that's what this little thing is here, a requirement, I could dig into the juicy berry bushes, which would get me a pomegranate. And then I'd roll my character die, 1 through 3, 4 through 5. And that would determine whether I get a second pomegranate or some more twigs. And pomegranates are one of the things that I can turn in, so that sounds like a good thing to go for. But what do I need for a shovel? So it lets me fight, those are successes in combat, and I need some flint or stone or something, and 2 twigs, I've got 1. So maybe I get a second twig and then look around for a rockier place. Although unfortunately, looking at the top of the rock area location deck, I see that they have, I think it's like supposed to be grass or something or hay, and they don't have rocks, which is another most common one. So maybe I can go underneath to look for that. But for my second of 5 actions, let's not move and let's just get some loose twigs. So now I have the 2 I need to build the shovel. And then let's stay close by for my third action. Let's move over here, see what's up. Ooh, it's a more dangerous place. Right now on top of the deck is Ominous Thorns with more twigs. No, so we're going to do a bottom one. I don't want to waste my action. And we're getting Ominous Thorns anyway, and more twigs anyway. And these places pretty much always have enemies that are hostile. And yes, indeed, this one's got a evil fly monster and a glowing skeleton. Okay. So again, I ignore his regular stat when it's hostility just from exploring, and I just roll a single die. And the possible results are little claw symbols. That means they attack me. And the amount of damage dealt by the enemy is based on their stat here. So this guy's actually very weak. Each claw only does a single point of damage. Thank God for that. We could have also gotten blue swirlies, which are evasion results, which will cancel my own success if I'm trying to fight them. Here it doesn't hurt me at all. And then get these little like purple special power things, which will fire off special abilities based on the number rolled. So here for the fly, if he gets 2 of them, he does 3 more damage. So here he got that result, so he's just doing a single point of damage to me. These little broken shield symbols show when they hit you how readily they break any armor items that you might have been using. All right, so my health is down to 7. Okay. Ooh, look at this spiky tree, by the way. If I had an axe and I took a damage for the interaction, oh, by the way, speaking of interaction, I forgot to lower this when I got the twigs. But yeah, then I could get a twig and some logs, which let me build different things and potentially even more logs. Now, this part's kind of annoying. I want to get a shovel and go back there potentially. But when you move, you can go to any place that shares part of a side with your tile. But he can't go diagonally. So if I like move down here to get new stuff, I could not then go back up there. And I want to stay over here because I'm going to use that tent to stave off some of the cold. So let's go up here again for my move. And it's another forest. All right. Haven't found any of the plains, like the nice places yet. And we got spooky woods on top. I don't like the sound of that. So let's, ooh, graveyard. Well, I mean, graveyard sounds bad, but it's got the stones I needed to build the shovel. Maybe I can dig something up. Ooh, it's a bat. And nope, I could cut a haunted tree down or rob the unlucky traveler. But I am rolling for hostility because this bat guy's got red. Although, hey, speaking of bats, look, a bat wing right above the pomegranate. So if I can kill the bat and then find some honey, although I'm not sure where that would be. I guess probably in a tree or something or with some bees. And that would get me 1. And then if I could find seeds and some meat or like a mole cave, which the shovel would probably help with. Okay, so we got some possibilities here. I'm going to die, but I'm just trying to pretend things are good. All right, let's see how the hostility works out this time. He gets a purple, but this says purple with a night symbol. So if it was nighttime, he would have the equivalent of rolling 2 claw results. So that would be 2 damage to me. Because it's not nighttime, luckily this is nothing. That was nice. And I only have 2 turns left before I'll have to deal with the weather. If I move back to the portal at the end of the round, I can use the tent to stop some of the cold that's going to hurt me so much. Although weather cards sometimes have a bonus. So here it says each character on a forest tower rolls a character die, and I'll get potentially 1 or even 2 free twigs. Although I already have 3 of those, so maybe not. So then for my second to last action this round, let's actually head up here, and then I can move back for the last one to scout things out a bit more. Oh, and there we go. We got a regular nice little area. Now let's explore there. I don't want more twigs. So instead of a thicket, we'll go, okay, it's a thicket. And we got a frog, although frog legs. Ooh, another thing that I could feed to the guys. And also, oh, this is really good. Look at this. Carrots can get me the seeds I need or the beet I need. So yeah, okay. This is going better than last time. Let's see if it goes better, though, when this frog attacks me. He's doing 1 damage to me. That's not the worst. And if I have a net or like a cage built, I could trap a rabbit in the rabbit hole. By the way, this other stuff up here is like for when you actually fight people, which I might do once I get the shovel built. We'll see how it goes. Oh, and actually, you know what? I'm just realizing it's about to be the end of the round. I'm going to get some of these back. So I might as well use one of my refocus tokens to reroll that die and try to not get hit by the frog. And there we go. You would have needed 2 to steal a resource from me. That's what that little minus gray symbol means. But yay, that worked out well. All right, and then yes, for my final action, I will come back here. What am I actually doing, though? I mean, the bummer part of this is that I'm not actually like getting to use an action because I don't have anything to do. I can't drop off any demands yet. So I just kind of waste the action. That part sucks. All right, so now we go into the shadow phase. So if I had any shadow creatures for my sanity being low, I would have to deal with them. Then we go to the daily needs phase, which in this case is just -3 hunger. When I say just, that's not great. So now you can see I went past this thing and I only have 1 of these refocus tokens showing behind my counter. So I'm only going to get to flip 1 of these at the beginning of each round, which means I will be back up to my max of 3, but still it's annoying. Okay, then we have the weather phase. So we resolve the weather event. If anybody was on the forest, then we could get some free stuff. Now we resolve the weather needs. Because we are currently on a needs tile to the left of the lightning bolt, we only need to resolve 2 cold. And just to show you some things I could have built to prevent the cold, I could have gotten nice warm earmuffs. That would take some thread and twigs. Here I could build this little jacket. That would take some bone, I think it is, and thread. And the really nice one is this warm knit cap, but I would need to have hay and thread. Again, I don't have any of these things, but that would have taken care of it entirely. And the negative of missing any icons is escalating. So for each one, I'm going to lose hunger and health. And if I'm missing 1, then it's 1 times. If I'm missing 2, it's 3 times. 3, 5 times. 4, 8 times. So if, like right now, I had no way to heat up, I would lose 3 health and 3 stomach or 3 hunger. But I did end on the portal tile. So I'm going to spend 3 essence to hide in the tent, which gives me -1 cold, which means I'm only losing 1 hunger and 1 health. Now, hunger, besides not getting as many of your focus tokens back each round, when you start going below 0, you take 2 damage for each health or hunger you couldn't fulfill. And to get it back, as you can imagine, I need to eat food, which so far I haven't found. And by the way, just to show, because it is an option I considered, in addition to the tent, the fireplace, if we're on the portal, lets me spend a log or some charcoal to get -1 cold, as well as some light, because light is really important in the night rounds. And how Wilson's transmutation power works is it says spend 2 resources to gain 1 resource from the common supply that has at least 1 available replacement option. Replacement options mean they can be used as something else. So this is a log tile, but it says in the corner that it can be used as a twig in a pinch. So anytime you would need a twig, you can overspend kind of with a log instead. And this says each spent resource must match at least 1 of the replacement options for the resource, and then I would get 1 sanity back. So Wilson could use science to turn 2 twigs into a log and gain sanity back. But I haven't lost any sanity yet, and that seems pretty expensive just to get the log to spend to heat the fire up more and get less cold. I'd rather save that for a moment when I'm in the nighttime and might actually get attacked. Because in a moment, this is going to go away, and in the nighttime, you need a certain amount of light to be safe. If you do not have enough light from items or things on your tile or whatever, then you automatically take 5 damage from, again, this video game character I think called Charlie, this like kind of phantasm attacking you in the darkness. All right, but that was 1 full round. Let's see what happens next. We go to the preparation phase. First, we flip a new weather card, and this time we have Frostbite. It says unprevented cold will cause double loss of damage this time, but it's only 1. That's actually great because in a moment my beard is going to grow and I'll have an automatic -1 cold. Now, additionally, some of the weather cards will have global events that'll happen at the end of the round. In this case, this one is spoilage, which can make some of my items go away. But the really big thing is any food that I'm holding on to, like, for example, the pomegranates I might dig up, will spoil and just go away unless I've already put them on the bill of fare and gotten them ready for that. Or unless you cook them with a recipe, which is a free action. In the full game, you unlock more recipes, and you can have up to 6 active at a time. But in this game, I just have some meatballs, a nice little drink, or a salad. And you can see there are 2 ways to get it. So 2 like beets, or 1 beet and 2 prickly bushes, whatever it is. 2 pomegranates, or a pomegranate and 2 of those things. And you'll see that a lot of the food will actually take away your sanity as you eat freaky things, but make your hunger go down. So that's one of the main ways you can preserve food, first of all, because these will not go away with spoilage, but also get your stats back up. So I draw a new weather card. Now I would revive defeated characters with my 1 meat effigy if I needed to. I would refresh activation tokens, but we're not really doing that. We're just doing the 6 tokens for actions. I would refresh my focus, which again, because my hunger is pretty low, is only going to bring back 1, but that's my max. I resolve any character abilities. In Wilson's case, his beard grows a bit. I can, as a free action, if I have an axe, cut my own beard to get some free sanity and some free grass, I guess using my beard for building. Yuck. Then I remove the leftmost daily needs tile, which means it's nighttime now, so I need to get at least 2 light source by the end of the round, or badness will happen. And we're ready to go again. All right, so let's, as a free action, do what we planned. I'm going to spend these 2 twigs and these rocks to build a shovel. And this up here shows how it breaks. So every time I use it for anything like building up the pomegranates, I'm going to roll this die. And the highest results, which tend to get you the best stuff, the 4 and the 5, also have 2 little breaking sword symbols, whereas the low results, like 2 and 3, have only 1 breaking sword symbol. And if it equals or exceeds, so in this case, just a 4 or a 5 result, then I'll flip the shovel over, and then when it happens again, you lose it entirely, so you'd have to rebuild it again. Although the shovel has a special power that if you have gold, you can spend it to ignore all the things that you roll for this item and repair it. So like getting a gold ore will let me fix my shovel easily. That's the cost. You already knew about that. And this is 1 success in combat. You can fight unarmed. It's very unlikely it'll go well for you. This would make me, if I battled, have a little bit of a better chance of defeating whatever I was going for, like the bat I want for their wings or the frog for their frog legs. Okay, but that was all a free action, so let's go ahead and take my first action to go down here, and I'll interact to dig up the juicy berry bush, which will exhaust this place, unfortunately, so I can't use it anymore. And since I'm using my shovel, I have to roll for this, and also to see what I get from the bush. And I got the sun symbol, which if it's daytime, you can treat as a 0 through 5, whatever you want. So I could have gotten 2 pomegranates or a stick without any breakage. But for nighttime, it's just treated as a 0. So all I'm getting is the 1 pomegranate. That's okay. It is what I need for one of the sale things for the menu, and my shovel didn't break, so that was all good. So I could move over and drop that off for my second action, but you can do as many drop-offs as you want in a single action, so I want to try to get a few more things and then drop them all off before spoilage happens. So I could just stay here for my second action and explore again, but it's a forest, and that's not really what I want. So let's instead head up here for my second action, and it's a rocky place. And actually now seeing the savanna on top, I haven't gotten any grass yet, so this might be good. As you saw, a lot of things that need like apparel, like armor, and stuff that keeps the cold away from you, they need grass. And ooh, we got a safe one as well. Look, it's got a little buffalo and more rabbits to catch. And if I had a pickaxe, not a shovel, but a pickaxe, I could dig into this boulder. But yeah, so we don't get hit in getting our grass. That was nice. Let's see, can I build any defensive stuff yet? If I had a log, which I could get with my transmutation power, and grass, I could build this. This will prevent the first claw result in combat, and also take away -1 damage from any extra attacks that get through. Although if the claws they roll show at least 1 shield, it's going to get flipped over, so it won't last very long. But I do want to fight some dudes eventually, but maybe not this guy, right? I don't think anything I'm looking for in their menu requires him. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to move this down during the little end of round step because I didn't have more lines completed than the number of players. All right, let's spend action number 3 to go up here. And okay, there we go. A nice friendly place. And we can go fight the frog in a second, maybe. The thicket has that. Nah, let's go from the bottom again. Oh, yes, seeds. We can give them to the people as well. Pretty good, pretty good. And we got a friendly little, like, honeybee. Honeybee. Oh, that's not a fly. That's a honeybee. Which means I bet that they have... Oh, man. And look, I can dig up an abandoned farm and maybe get a beet. Oh, man, this is like everything I want. Yeah, because let's see here. Seeds. I know where a bat is. I need honey, which I think the honeybee might have. Or I could get this in the pomegranates and then try to dig up a mole later. Okay. So I want to do some actions here for sure. By the way, I should show you something about seeds because there's a lot of tiles and things that have the same thing. So first of all, they can be substituted for the sort of like cactusy thing that all my recipes needed. They also only are worth half a hunger, so you need to eat 2 of them at a time to actually do anything. But they have this little symbol with a shovel and a flip icon. And if you were watching, you might have noticed that the log had the same thing with a fire. And as a free action, you can do what's called resource processing. So I can take, let's say that I had like a bunch of seeds from that action I could do. Let's say I had 3 of them. I could pick as many as I want. I need to have the shovel. And then I would flip them over and they might give me different things. Like, look, all these like vegetables and stuff in this case. I'm supposed to be farming, I guess. But then I do have to roll the die to see if the shovel breaks because it's still a use of it, even though I am using it as a free action. And that's also why it's part of the rules that for these resource trays that they sent me that are nice wood, that whenever you interact with a resource, it goes to the back of the stack to randomize what it might have if it has another side. But yeah, for action 2, action 4, I've only got 2 left after this, but I don't have to run back to the place. Well, I guess I might for the light source. And I got to run back to drop off stuff. So, okay, I will have to run back. But whatever. For action 4, I'm going to dig at the abandoned farm. So I'd really love to get a 1 to 3 so I don't start breaking my shovel, although I guess the beet would be good. Well, let's see what we get. We got a 1, so we get 2 seeds, but no beet. That's okay. And that does bring this down 1. I think I want to fight the guy to try to get some honey, and then I can go back to the pig feast. So let's talk about fighting. I can say how many items I want to use, and actually speaking of, I am going to do my little plan to transmute 2 twigs into a log and then spend that. I would gain a sanity, but I haven't lost any yet. And then spend that with the grass to get this armor. And then I'm going to fight the guy saying I'm using my shovel and my armor. You can use up to, whenever you do an action, up to 1 hand item, up to 1 body item, up to 1 head thing, and then any number of other types. So what are we doing? These are potential rewards. This is how many dice the enemy is going to roll. If I had a weapon, let me show you one that does. If I had a weapon like this rapier or this like super hammer that has a value here, that would subtract from the enemy roll, although they always roll a minimum of 1. Here I don't have that, so he's rolling 3 of those dice, which again can hit me for damage, can block my successes. The successes being an important thing, because to actually defeat this guy, I need to end up with at least 1 success left over. If I roll a 4 or a 5, the things that break, you'll see they have a little success icon, and then also my shovel is giving me a free 1. So if they roll 2 evades here, I would miss completely, but 1 evade, I guess it depends on whether I roll a 4 or 5. But yeah, they have a chance to evade. This guy doesn't have any of those purple effects, so those would be wasted dice, so we'll hope for those. The armor will block, but he could potentially break it. So yeah, that's how things go. Let's see what happens. So again, 3 of his dice and 1 of mine, and it's not great. He evaded twice, and I did not get a second thing, so he completely dodged my attack. I only have 1 success, -2 is -1, and I needed 1 left over. But he also didn't hurt me at all. If I had defeated him, one of these tokens would have gone on top, and I would have been unable to fight over here. But also, importantly, for like the red places, they'll keep on being hostile to you and attacking you potentially every time you try to interact with their tile. But if you kill them, then you can freely interact. They're not guarding it anymore. But there is one of the universal weather effects that will respawn all the monsters and remove these. By the way, that didn't happen, but he also didn't hurt me. But you'll see the bottom value here, 1 times whatever the reward is, means you get 1 of it if you fail, and 2 if you succeeded. So here I managed to steal what I'm hoping is some honey before he attacked me, and I didn't get hurt, and nothing broke. So that was okay. And okay, good. I hoped it would be honey, and it was. That's great. All right, and then for my last action, of course, let's move back here. For both the light of the fire and to turn in, look at all this. Some seeds, some honey, and some pomegranates. That's boop, boop, boop. So if I can kill that bat, and then I forget what gives you that type of meat. Yeah, I've definitely killed a few things that gave me that in the past plays, but it's hard to remember the details. But yeah, if I can do all that, then I'll actually advance to the next stage of the quest, which I haven't done before. But now we got to deal with stuff. So Shadow Phase, I still haven't lost any sanity, so that's fine. Oh, hold on. I need to, before I go into all this, I need to deal with my seeds, because they are going to go bad. I could convert them, because it'll probably be worth more food by using my shovel, but then I have a chance to break it and flip it, or I can just eat them for 1 hunger. Let's go for the chance, because it's only a 1/3 chance. I'm using my shovel to flip these as a free action. Yay! 1 breakage is not enough. I need a 4 or a 5. So let's see what I get. I got a potato, and I got a carrot that's only worth half. Oh, but look, this counts as a beet as well. So let's actually say that I turned that in too, because it's worthless to me, and I can't cook it fast enough, can I? Oh, actually, this salad one requires 2 beets. How much better is it? Well, this one it cures 1 hunger, but takes away 1 sanity, and this does nothing. If I turn them into a salad, it'll heal me 2 and give me 1 hunger without the sanity loss. So yeah, let's say that I cooked that as a free action. And you can, by the way, use these things to prevent loss in reaction to loss. So like if I was going to lose enough hunger to die, for example, I could like immediately eat that, or if I was going to get hurt, which, oh no, I am. What the heck was I thinking? I had planned to have a twig to spend on the fire to light it up and get 2 light. I have no twig. I have no fire. So let's go and eat the salad, because it's about to get painful. I go up to 5 hunger and 8 health. As we go into the nastiness, do I have at least 2 light? I have 0, so Charlie hits me for 5 damage. I'm down to 3, even after the healing. Then I lose 3 hunger, so I'm down to 2 of that, which means I'm not going to get any focus I forgot about my focus tokens. Well, whatever. I guess I could have rerolled for the B, but it kind of worked out fine. And I lose 2 sanity, which is happily not enough to get my first shadow monster to spawn. So look, it's whenever you cross over. So when I go from 4 to 3, I get 1. When I go from 2 to 1, I get a second. And when you go down to 0, you get a third. Although any additional sanity loss at that point is nothing. Oh, and if you're wondering what the little swirly symbols are, those are your reset points, 5 values when you die and use a meat effigy, which I feel like might happen soon. All right, next to do the weather phase. So we would double all unprevented cold, but my beard stops the 1 cold, so we lose nothing. And nothing spoils, because I don't have anything, for better or worse. Then we go to the scenario phase. We still have 0 completed lines instead of the 2 we need, so we are 1 closer to the scenario progressing regardless of what I've done. But again, if I can kill a bat, which, oh my god, the bat near me is kind of a death monster. But he also gets me 2 goods even if I lose the fight. So if I can go in there, and he doesn't do a ton of damage, although it is going to be nighttime, this next thing. So we'll see what happens. All right, we're going to the next preparation phase. We have a new weather card. Flock of Pengulls. Each character with I don't know what that is. Yeah, something's a bit confusing in this prototype. We'll ignore that one and just draw another one. I don't know what they wanted you to have there. Okay, defeated party. Oh, or defeated prey. Oh, defeat all neutral monsters. Wow. But it's really cold and spoilage again. But that's actually not that bad, I guess. I mean, it's not really good either because, I wasn't going to fight these guys anyway. I want to kill the bat and other stuff maybe. All right, and we don't have to revive anybody. We don't get any activation tokens back. We have our max focus and we wouldn't recover any anyway. My beard grows, but it's still only enough to prevent 1 cold. I'd have to grow it 1 more time to get to 2. And, we remove another daily need tile, which means it's a darker night, but less sanity loss. So we need 3 fire, which I would need a log to use the fire at the central tile. Or I could build a torch with some sticks and grass. That would get me 2. And then if I had an extra stick or grass, I could burn it to make the fire brighter and get to 3. But I could also... I'm thinking if I just fight some monsters this round and maybe die, that would still be enough to, I could let myself die, but survive through the round and revive and maybe be able to do the next part of the scenario. Well, here we go. This could be my death. I only have 3 life. I do have my armor. Let's try to kill this guy. And am I even going to use my shovel? He has 6 dice and I get 2 of his thing if I don't kill him, and 4 if I do. So honestly, not killing him is fine. I don't think I'm going to get enough successes, so I'm really just going to, I'm just going to use the armor. So I'm hoping that he rolls a ton of evasions. Now, it is nighttime, unfortunately, so 2 of those special symbols are going to equal 2 damage. Oh, my God. Or sorry, each of those is going to equal 2 damage? And I've got my armor. I just wanted to roll a ton of evasions. Oh, and it seems like he did. Okay, this is pretty good. So this one is an evade or a damage. Clearly, I'll choose the evasion option. So he is hitting me twice, but one of those is prevented by the armor, and one of them is prevented by the extra blockage because he only does 1 damage. He didn't get any of the purples. That's really my saving grace here. So I took no damage, but then you look at the highest number of broken shields, in this case 2. Is it at least equal to the 1 there? Yes, so this flips. Next time it would be destroyed. But hey, that's what I thought I would get. Some bat wings. Heck yeah. And then I'm 99% sure that the that weird red meat I need is from the fly, because I definitely killed a fly in my last game and I somehow had red meat. So let's go here for my second action, see if we can get lucky in combat again. And yeah, once again, I don't need to win, so I'm not going to risk breaking my shovel because I might need that just to get food to survive. So let's use my armor again. I'm sure it'll break. Now this guy, I don't want to get 2 purples because that would be devastating. 1 will be fine. Okay, they got 1 purple. Awesome. I'll give them the evasion. Oh, I'm not rolling my die. I'm sorry, because technically I could have gotten a success. Nope. So they're doing 2 hits for 1 each, which means the armor blocks all of it again, but they had a 1 block, so this is gone. I'd have to build it again, and I don't think I'm going to have time for that. But let's see how my memory, yes, okay. So I can actually do it. I can complete the mission. I don't even know what happens next. Now, that stuff doesn't get checked until the story steps, so before I run back, I want to find some twigs to either, like, try to build a log. Well, this thing is kind of dead, so my third action, let's go back to the forest, because I see that there's a spooky woods on top, although spooky woods doesn't fill me with confidence. You know what, let's go to this forest instead and take an explore action to get a new card, because then, like, if I'm still alive, I can go up here for a safer option of things. But yeah, so I'll do the spooky woods for a twig. And, oh, we're getting potentially attacked by a spider. Come on, don't hit me, you butt. Nope, he doesn't have one, yay! All right, and I could go into the spider den if I had killed him. That's what that symbol is. I can go to the berry bush for more twigs, but he'll probably hit me. So now let's spend my fourth action. I need 2 twigs to get a log to get enough light to potentially survive. Although, am I just gonna die anyway? I might just die anyway. Well, whatever. Let's go here and could go for carrots. That's a nice thing. But no, he'd attack me, and I am really close to death right now. So let's do the thicket that's on top because I want the twigs this time. Oh, and it's got a mole, which I don't need anymore, but a nature's gift I could go for. Well, I'll talk about the mole in a second, but I get the twigs. That's the important part, and that resets if it hadn't already. So yeah, you'll see that for both the nature's gift and for the burrow actions, you got this little eyeball. And what that means is when you interact with it, that if the monster is neutral, they'll still attack you. Now, in the mole's case, he doesn't actually have like any damage, but if he rolls a purple, he steals one item of your choice. Or sorry, one resource. But the burrow would get me potentially a nice amount of food. So before I go back for my last action, now that I've got the 2 twigs I wanted, let's try to feed myself a bit. I'm going to use my shovel to dig in his burrow. So I'm rolling 1 die for him just to see if he gets the purple, and I'm rolling 1 die for me to see what I dig up. He did get that, and I got a 3, so I'm getting a mole and a meat, and he's taking one of my resources. The meat will also make you go crazy. What the mole? Oh, it's a gem. Oh, that also counts as a ghost. I can use that for the 3 essence. Where do I turn it in? I think I turn it in at the portal, maybe? Yeah, the purple gem is cool for a lot of things. I don't think I really need it. I'm actually going to let the mole steal that back, because I just want the things that are going to feed me. Okay, then for my last action, obviously, I will move back to the feast, and I'll turn in a bat wing and some bug meat, which means I've got 2 completed things. So I'm going to get a bunch of hunger and sanity. So should I eat anything? Yeah, because things are about to spoil, so so this can count as a prickly bush. That can count as meat or a prickly bush. Oh, and of course, meat can count as meat. Meat and prickly bush would get me the meatballs. So instead of doing 2 hunger for -2 sanity, it'd be 3 hunger for 1 sanity. Yeah, so let's go ahead and cook that. Now, do I want to eat it now? Let's see, I'm going to get 3 from the mission. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and eat it. It's not going to bring me down to the sanity threshold. So that'll get me to 5 hunger. Nice. Although I'm still hurt as heck. And I'm also going to do transmutation because I need that log to survive. So I'm going to turn both of these into a log to burn, which gets me 1 more sanity from enjoying my science work. All right, now a ton of stuff happens. We don't have any shadows to attack us. I am going to burn the log to get me -1 snow, so I won't be cold, along with my beard, and to get me 3 light. Worked out better than it should have. So I'm just losing 3 hunger, back down to 2, but I didn't starve at all, and 1 sanity to 5, not quite enough for monsters to attack. And then for the weather, I guess that would have happened now. Yeah, the event would have happened now and killed all the neutral monsters. I mean, it didn't matter. Oh, actually, I guess it kind of does, because this will also go on the mole, so he's dead too. I think, even though he can't be attacked, I think this event still kills him. So if I wanted to go back and dig in his burrow some more, it wouldn't hurt me. But yeah, then I need to do 2 cold. I got 1 for my beard, 1 for my fire, so I don't take anything. Spoilage happens, but once again, I have 0 items, which doesn't seem great. But now, this is new. I haven't done this. We go to the scenario phase. So we do have enough lines, greater than the number of players. So we're going to get 3 hunger and 3 sanity. So I'm at max sanity again. I'm at 5 hunger, so actually pretty dang good. And I forgot about my reroll tokens again. What the heck? And I go to scenario 5. Allergic reaction. That doesn't sound good. The guests are still here. The tables are set. This sure is one feast that they won't soon forget. But mirth turns the guests as, to your surprise, they turn into beasts before your own eyes. You turn to the monarch. Protect me, he squeals. Thrice cursed buffet. It must be the meals. Oh, crud. For each scenario marker on a purple spot on bill of fare. Oh, God, I had 3. 1, 2, 3. Place a, murder pig token on a tile without any. That is called all other revealed scenario cards. Oh, once all pigs are defeated, then I get 509. And how tough are these guys? They only roll 3 dice, but they do a ton of damage on hits, and they take away a lot of sanity on those. But yeah, I mean, they could be worse. And I want to put them in places that are actually useful. The Nature's Gift can get me sticks and like not hair, whatever it is, one more time. The Abandoned Farm might be good. Let's put it like here because they just replaced the monster if it's already there. And here, and that one's already exhausted, so here. Okay. If I can kill all three of them and I still have my revive token, then I can win. I wish I had more health at the moment, and I wish I had a real weapon. Those would be great things, and I have none of that. All right, so we're going to the next round, and things are going to get a lot nastier. We get a new weather card, Snowstorm. And we are now past, because we're about to take this away, so we are now past the lightning bolt. Now, it is a daytime thing, so we're only losing hunger. We don't need to worry about light anymore. But if I'm not on the portal tile at the end of the round, I'll lose 2 sanity. Oh, this means that all of the Explorer cards on the board will go up to like their max side, so you can interact with them a bunch more. But look, because it's past the lightning bolt, I'll have 2 cold. That one's actually going to be okay because my beard's going to be fully grown. But also 2 rain, which makes your stuff spoil. And only takes away sanity. So actually, I'm kind of okay to survive the weather card and the need card if I need to take some time to get some more like items and armor and stuff together to kill these guys. Because it's fine to like die to one of them, but I need to kill 3 without dying twice. And yeah, to show my beard length is now its max. So I have -2 cold. Although I could also cut it for 2 grass, which might get me armor. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, so I need like a good weapon. So the spear is great. It gives you 3 successes when you use it, which clearly is going to cut through a lot of evades. I would need grass and twigs and rock. Pretty basic stuff. And that's really the easiest weapon for me to get. So grass and twigs and rock. So I could get one of those 2 things at Nature's Gift over here, and there's no mole to mess with me. But the stones... Ooh, look, the step has stone on top. So if I can go like here and get, I guess I'm more likely to get the grass than the twig, but then I can like maybe go here and explore and have a chance to get a twig and then go here and get the rocks. So that kind of works. All right, so for my first action, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use the last one to do Nature's Gift here. And yeah, I really want a 3 to 5, I guess, because then I can interact with the yellow flowers to automatically get grass over there. Oh, and it's daytime now, so I can treat that as a 0 through 5 of my choice. So yeah, I'll say it's a 5 and get a twig. Oh, wait. Whoa. I'll say it's a 3 and get grass and a twig. I didn't see the double thing there. Okay, for my second action, because that's all exhausted now, I will go over here and... Should I do the Abandoned Farm for some food? I don't need the sanity gain from the flowers. I could get more grass. Let's see. 2 grass would get me armor that prevents just 2 claws. I don't think I'm going to be able to get more logs. I don't even have an axe to cut them. That armor is like impossible to get. And I guess I've got food. I'm not going to starve. Yeah, you know what? So let's go ahead and pick the yellow flowers. I'll roll the die even though I don't need the 4 to 5. Okay, I got a 2. Gives me a second grass. If I get 1 more, I can still build the spear and also get like 1 more thing. All right, third action. As planned, I'm going to go down here and explore a new card to get the step that's on top. So all this goes away. Oh, I'm going to get attacked by a pig. That's not great. Not a hit, please. Not a hit. Dang it. Take 2 damage. I'm down to 1. Great. Now, I think if you kill somebody but also die, it still counts, and you keep all your items and stuff. Like, really, death doesn't do a lot to you in the immediate sense, besides losing all your actions. But should I take a chance? I'm thinking if I went after this unlucky traveler, I have a decent chance to get some more grass. But then he might kill me with the return attack. But that would... Oh, I forgot I have my rerolls. Gosh darn it. Let me reroll that attack he hit with. So what are the chances of not being hurt? Looks like... Yeah, it's only 2 sides have an automatic attack. Okay, so reroll. And it's a purple, which is -1 sanity. I'm fine with that. I got 8, now I got 7. So with that in mind, for my 4th action, I'm going to dig for the unlucky traveler. It's going to trigger his aggression again. Oh, this worked out great. I can pick an attack or an evade. I'll say evade, and I got a 2, which gets me the grass I wanted. All right, we are loaded up here. Before we spend our last 2 actions to go pig hunting, I'm going to spend 2 grass to get that little armor, and a grass, a stick, and rocks to get my oh-so-deadly spear. So, come on out. And this is the armor I'm getting. It's only preventing 2 damage from an attack, which means if they hit me a few times, I'll have to reroll or die, but it gives me a chance at least. Here, we can put all these things over here. So I've got 2 actions left. Let's go ahead and fight the first pig for 1. If I survive, I can fight the other one, and then even if I die, I can fight the third one. You're going to see a gosh darn verified victory here, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, that did go down from looking at the traveler. All right, so I'm going here, fighting this guy. I'm going to use my spear and my armor. And I've got 2 rerolls left. All right, so they're doing 3 dice, and I got to see if my spear breaks or if I get an extra thing. I have 3 successes, so I'm really hoping for evasions because they won't matter very much. Okay, what's their purple? Their purple is -2 sanity. I'm going to be going a little crazy. Oh gosh, I flipped my spear. That part's not great. They evaded once. My spear's going to stop that. They hit me once, and their attack is 3, so I'm stopping 2 of it, so I'm down to 2 life. But my armor's also flipping. That's not going to last very long. Oh wait, should I reroll? I could reroll. I don't want to lose too much sanity, though. I'm already going to be having a shadow monster on me. Now, let's save my rerolls for like when I'm not going to actually win. The spear did flip. That part sucks. And I took 4 sanity, so I'm down to 3, which means I get a level 1 shadow monster, which isn't so bad. In this case, they're just going to make stuff spoil. Who cares? The level 2 and level 3 ones actually, like, they stack on top of each other and they do all the effects and they get way nastier. But hey, I'm alive, and oh, I get some meat. 2 hunger for -1 sanity. Don't really want to do that yet, but hey, good to know. All right, for my last action, because again, if I can kill him and die, I think he stays dead, and then I just got to kill the last one. Still using these, but I've got my 2 rerolls. Let's see how this goes. Oh, this is actually great. My weapon didn't break. I've got 3 evasions, which is 1 too many, but I could choose to... Yeah, I can't let them evade 3 times. So if I took the hit, I would still have 1 life left, but the purple would make my sanity go low enough to have a second monster, which would probably finish me off. Should I use the rerolls? I mean, what's the best that I could reroll? Like, another evasion by itself would be great. Another hit would not. I would die. I think it's good how it is. Okay, so I'm choosing the hit because otherwise I wouldn't have enough successes to defeat him. My armor prevents 2, and the nice thing is that was a hit without any breakage symbol, so it isn't gone. So I'm down to 1, but he also makes me lose 2 sanity, so I get a second monster. Oh, but I know, I can transmute to gain some sanity. Because look, this guy would have to actually roll 2 monster dice and potentially take a ton of damage. Or, wait, what's the 2 things here? Because the 3 is the number of dice you roll. I forget what that is. But either way, he's going to attack me. You can also attack them, by the way, to regain some sanity. But yes, I think my plan will work. Because, yeah, I can transmute the meat, can I? What can I transmute it into? Well, it says meat or prickly bush. Oh, wait, but it needs to show... Crud, it needs to show the thing that's on there. I don't know if that... Yeah, that's like the highest order of meat, so I don't think it has a prereq for anything. Yeah, and I can't cook anything that would give me health, so I don't really know what to do with that. I'll just drive myself insane if I eat it, and I don't need the hunger. I need to not get dead. All right, so then we go into shadow monsters. They'll just make it spoiled. Is there anything I can do? Well, here, actually, I just looked. I can cook it into this. One of them acting as meat, one of them acting as the, whatever it is, the prickly bush. And I will keep this even after I die, so that's okay. All right, so this guy's attacking me. I need to get... I can use my armor, but I need to get like 0 hits. I still have my 2 rerolls. Am I going to survive if I survive this? Do I want to survive? I think I'd rather die and get 5 in all my stats. Yeah, I'm not going to use my armor. And okay, he hit me twice, which would have been too much for my armor anyway. And he doesn't have a purple effect, but yeah, so I am dead, which is fine. I'm going to come back in a second. And again, if I'm understanding stuff, I don't lose any of my items, my resources, or anything, which means I don't have to lose 3 hunger. I don't have to deal with the water, making my sanity go down. Now, all the locations do still get their little boost of life with that worldwide symbol. But besides that, I don't think anything else happens. Okay, the daily needs are fine. The weather is fine. Yep. Okay. And there's no scenario-specific effects. So we're getting a new weather card. Hypothermia. Each character with any unprevented cold loses a reroll token. It's going to be 3 cold. I can only block 2 with my beard and stuff will spoil again, but that should be fine. Oh, sorry. This is like to track which phase we're in. I'm never moving that. That goes away, but it's still daytime, and I don't get any... Well, wait, when do I... Oh, I revive, and then I refresh activation tokens, so I actually do get 1 back. Nice. So I'm at 5 of everything. I've got my armor. I've got my spear. I've got all 3 refocus tokens, so we should be good, I think. Yeah, man, let's do this. So here we go. We're moving in and fighting for our first action. Why wait? Using my spear, using my armor, throwing the dice out of the thing. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like them making me crazy. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm going to assume, like, win. So my spear breaks. They evade twice, but I've got 4 successes between the spear and the breaking. I lose 4 sanity, so I get 2 guys again. But I've defeated the last one of these, so let's see what it says. I go to scenario 9. Yeah, it's definitely the bottom card. The battle is over. The fighting is through. The king turns his back without bidding adieu. The pigs lift his rickshaw and rush down the hill. At least you've a moment to sit back and chill. Okay, place this card on the portal tile as an action. If I enter the portal, I'll remove my character. And once all the characters have entered, I win. Yay! So I can do that with my second action. Awesome, man. I can't believe that actually happened. So I would go to the home phase where I could unlock things permanently with these blueprints, and they wouldn't just give me upgrades for my home base, but they would also supposedly unlock new recipes and new blueprints and all kinds of new stuff. So there is some kind of fun unlockable elements to the roguelike nature of the game, even though each scenario I think is completely separate. But there you go. Can't believe it actually worked out. Clearly learning what the tokens represented in my previous plays helped a lot. And also just not dying. So what do I think of Don't Starve? Well, I think things are a little bit unclear for me, how interesting the overall unlocks will be since the demo didn't have any of that. I've only seen one scenario, and I think it's pretty interesting and forces you to do different things. So I can kind of see how the scenario design will give you very different directions to follow, and the map will be different and all that kind of stuff. Also, what you just saw is only one season, winter, which determined what the daily needs tiles looked like and also what these events were, and the fact that I needed a lot of cold prevention. So I assume playing in different seasons is going to make the weather and kind of the needs quite a bit different. But I haven't gotten to see any of that, so I can imagine it'll be cool and interesting, but I don't know for sure. But what is good? First of all, the game plays very quickly. Individual actions are super simple, so even if you're playing with multiple players, just moving and rolling a die, and somebody else moves and gets their resources, somebody else explores something, that seems fine. In terms of cooperation, I didn't show it, but if characters are in a tile adjacent to you or on your tile, they can fight with you just by taking their action for the turn with you. And then you get to split the monster dice between you, so you each roll them. So you can take a lot less damage, and all that kind of stuff. So it seems like there will be some nice teamwork there. And of course, trying to tackle the objectives together. And if somebody needs a resource you've got and you need a resource they've got, and you can trade with each other. So I think the game will become more interesting while still not being too long and complicated with more players. I also think they've got the crafting system down pretty good. Now, there are a ton of items that don't matter in the stuff they sent me. I kind of hope they make it a bit more curated and unlockable and a logical choice. To explain what I mean, let's say the first scenario is in winter, maybe they just give you some of the winter clothes to build and not everything else. And then when you unlock your first summer scenario, they give you some more summer-based items. Because it'd be nice if I was teaching the game to somebody, not for them to have to look through tons and tons of cards, just my personal preference. But, still, the crafting is cool. It's pretty straightforward. It can be a little bit annoying to, look through and find what you can build, but usually it's pretty logical. That if you're going to, make a tool, you probably need a stick and some stones, and yes, you do. Anybody who's played Minecraft or the actual video game Don't Starve will know about that kind of stuff. And I think this book is going to be part of the game. That's my assumption, so it makes it easier to kind of flip through them instead of having to have a giant deck of cards. So I think that'll work out well in the end. And I don't know how many characters will be in the final game, but the 4 they sent in the demo are really cool and different. So you saw Winston can kind of get more varied resources with his transmutation thing, and he can deal with cold or get grass more easily. Then you've got Willow, who's got this lighter that can get her fire and give her a way to deal damage more easily. And she also gets her own special Ember track that lets her spend it for different little bonuses there. And then Wendy has this ghostly sister Abigail that can fight with her, but if she gets too hurt, then Wendy gets sad from not having her. And then Weber gets to ignore spiders on the board because he's a spider himself, and he can get thread, and he kind of grows thread in a similar way to Winston growing his beard. Wilson. Winston was in Castaway. And then he can also befriend spiders. If he goes to spider places, not only will they not attack him, but he can collect them and then use them to be super awesome in a future fight. So it seems like the characters will be very different. And even if they only have those 4, that's pretty cool. But I know in the video game, there's a billion. So I would imagine that they'll probably have, at least 6 or 8 when everything's unlocked and all that. But yeah, I think with the whole exploring system, the map system, the location cards, they've done a good job of creating kind of the randomness of a randomly generated world, along with some predictability of which places are more or less dangerous and where you might want to go for certain resources. Now, the luck is certainly going to ruin this game for some people. The fights, as you saw, can be super devastating or not, and yes, you have reroll tokens, but they're reroll tokens, not, set the die to the face you want tokens. So sometimes you'll use one and nothing good will happen. Also, the fact that your dice and the enemy dice can break stuff that took you half a round or more to collect can be a little bit frustrating. Now, of course, they have to break twice, and again, you can reroll to try to stop that from happening. But yeah, like sometimes the luck is just not going to be with you. The game's already very punishing on the easiest difficulty. Like you saw, again, the only time I managed to win on the normal difficulty, the easiest the game gets, and it was still pretty chancy, and I had no lives left. So I do worry in the Frostpunk style that they might tune the game too rough. Like I hope they make maybe one difficulty level easier than that, just so I can like play with my kids and stuff more easily. But I think this is a really cool attempt. You know, I like video game adaptations that work well, and I think this is one of the better ones I've seen. This team, along with, Apex Legends and Frostpunk, they clearly get how video games should be turned. They like know how to keep the heart of a video game's experience while still doing different things. And I think they've done a great job here. So I'm very excited to see how Don't Starve turns out and how things kind of shake out in the end. And I think you should go check out the campaign page. I don't think it's launching for like another month or so, but they said I can post whenever. So sorry, this is a bit early. But yeah, if you think the game looks cool, check it out when it's live. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, Pedro Lucas, Miles, Casey W., Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.